This video series has been made for the preparation of SEE exams or Grade 10 exams, subject science. In this video series, we have been solving questions of previous board exams. Now we are going to discuss answers of Sedips board examination 2074. We are going to discuss answers of Group B in this video. We are going to start with this question now. Question number 13. Pollution is a social and biological problem. Explain. Pollution is a social problem as it has correlation with economic status of the society. Pollution creates unhygienic living conditions which give fertile ground for spreading of diseases. It hampers economic progress due to decrease in productivity of sick and unhealthy people. Pollution is obviously a social problem because unhygienic condition created by pollution make people fall sick, and sick and unhealthy people cannot take part in economic activities in order to improve their financial conditions. And pollution is also a biological problem because plant productivity is directly related with availability of natural resources like enough sunlight, clean air, healthy soil, and clean water. The diffused sunlight due to air pollution decreases flower and fruit production. In absence of strong sunlight, photosynthesis cannot be done effectively. That is why the food cannot be made in plant in enough amount, and that will result into poor production of flower and fruit and the crops entirely. Now the next question is, write any two effects of UV rays to the humans. The two effects of UV rays to the humans are: humans will suffer from skin cancer, cataract of eyes, eye problem, and weak immune system. The weak immune system results into several health problems. So these are the effects of exposure to UV rays. Now we are going to see this question now. Next question is, write effects of under and over secretion of hormone by thyroid gland. Effects of under secretion of thyroid gland. Under secretion means hyposecretion, low metabolic rate, weight gain, memory problems, and infertility, infertile condition. Effects of over secretion of thyroid gland. Hypersecretion, hypersecretion of thyroxine hormone, high metabolic rate, weight loss, okay, and reduction in body weight, weight loss, mental irritability, mental restlessness, excessive sweating. So these are the effects of hyper and hyposecretion of thyroxine hormone. Question number 12. Write any two differences between simple layering and compound layering. Simple layering, at least 20 centimeter tip of selected branch for layering is kept out of the soil. So at least 20 centimeter, minimum 20 centimeter should be out of the soil. Whereas in compound layering, very small tip of selected branch for layering is out of the soil. Only small tip is kept out of the soil. That means it is smaller than in simple layering, smaller than 20 centimeter. In simple layering, a single plant is grown from the branch which is used for layering, okay, because only single node is covered by the soil in case of simple layering, okay. In case of compound layering, many new plants can be grown from a single branch used for layering because many nodes get covered with soil in this method. So the whole branch is kept under the soil so that many nodes will get covered by the soil. Node is a point from where a branch grows, okay. In case of compound layering, it is made sure that many nodes will get covered by the soil, so every node will grow into a new plant. So after roots start growing, this each node will be separated out, okay, and they can be grown into new plants. So this is compound layering. Now the next question is, write the name with structural formula of the substance formed due to the displacement of 3 hydrogen of propane with 3 hydroxyl radicals by chemical reaction. Look at the question carefully. In this question, the question is more complex than answer. Write the name with structural formula of the substance formed due to the displacement of 3 hydrogen of propane. 3 hydrogen of propane with 3 hydroxyl radicals by chemical reaction. 3 hydrogen of propane is displaced by 3 hydroxyl radicals. So your answer should be written in this manner. This is propane. 1, 2, 3 carbon atoms means propane. In propane 3 hydrogens are removed, and in place of 3 hydrogens 3 hydroxyl radicals are replaced. Okay, so the final product is glycerin or trihydric alcohol. Yes, 1, 2, 3 carbon atoms, and in carbon atoms OH radicals are, OH functional groups are connected, okay, linked. So this way trihydric alcohol is formed, which is also called glycerin or glycerol. Now question number 10. Write any two characters of queen bee. Two characters of queen bee are: it has larger abdomen than other bees. Okay, it is the only egg laying female in the hive. So these are the two characteristics of queen bee. Now we are going to see next question, that is question number 2. Why is the weight of a body is more at polar region than at the equatorial region of the earth? Since W equal to mg, formula of weight, the value of g varies from place to place. It is more at polar region than at the equatorial region due to the shape of the earth. So earth is little bit flat on the poles and it is bulging out at the equator. Because of that, the radius is shorter at the poles and it is longer at the equator, and it makes the value of g different. Okay, value of g is more at the pole, whereas value of g is less at the equator. So g equal to 9.83 meter per second square at poles, so weight is more at the pole, whereas g equal to only 9.78 meter per second square at the equator, so weight is less. The value of m remains unchanged everywhere. So in this formula, mass remains unchanged. The only factor makes difference here is g. Okay, g is more at the pole, that is why weight is more. G is less at the equator, that is why weight is less. This is your answer. Now the next question is, what is the difference in pressure given by water in a bottle at the earth surface and lunar surface? Lunar surface means on the surface of the moon. Justify your answer. You have to give reason for your answer. The pressure given by water in a bottle, liquid pressure, is greater on the earth as value of g is more on the earth, that is 9.8 meter per second square, than on the lunar surface, which is g equal to 1.67 meter per second square. We know P equal to dgh, this is liquid pressure. Here values of d and h remain same. Density and the height of the liquid column do not change, so the value of g makes difference in pressure on the earth and on the moon surface. That is why liquid pressure is more on the surface of the earth, whereas liquid pressure is less on the surface of the moon. Now we are going to see this question. Now write down the differences between nuclear fission and nuclear fusion. Nuclear fission: in this nuclear reaction, a heavy nucleus splits into lighter nuclei with the release of large amount of energy. Nuclear fusion: in this nuclear reaction, light nuclei combine to form a heavy nucleus with the release of large amount of energy. Nuclear fission: extreme temperature and pressure are not required. It can be done at ordinary conditions. Nuclear fission. For nuclear fusion, extreme temperature and extreme pressure are the required conditions for fusion reaction. Why do animals sit round into a ball during winter season? Animals curl up into a ball during winter to retain heat in the body, to store heat in the body. The curling up or sitting round reduces surface area that gets exposed to the cold surrounding. Smaller the surface area, lesser the amount of heat lost from the body to the surrounding. That is why in order to store more heat in the body, animals sit in curled up position during winter season. Now we are going to do this question now. Molecular formula of certain ionic compound is XY2, and X is a metal, state, group and block of the elements X and Y. XY2 is an ionic compound, X is a metal. So question says this. Then Y is a non-metal. Y must be non-metal because ionic compound is made up of metal and non-metal. This part of the sentence is for your understanding. Okay, if X is metal, then Y should be non-metal. You can write it straight in this way. Let the valency of X be 2 and Y be 1. Then by arranging these two according to the process of writing molecular formula, X square power valency is written like power X square and Y to the power 1. Okay, so and now while writing molecular formula, these powers will be exchanged and they go to right lower corner, and the value of this one, power of Y has come to X and power of X has come to Y. So this way it becomes XY2, right? So this formula and formula given in the question are same now. That means the valency of X is 2, Y is 1. So we are trying to show prove the valency of X is 2 and Y is 1 in this solution. Now metal with valency 2 are group 2A elements. Okay, if valency 2 in metal, then these are group 2A elements. Example, calcium, magnesium. If non-metals have valency 1, then these are group 7A elements. For example, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Okay, so the molecular formula of XY Y2 can be written as CaCl2 or MgCl2. Okay, because calcium, magnesium are group 2A elements and chlorine is group 7A element. So it can be written this way. We have found groups now. Now we are going to find blocks. So group 2A elements belong to block S, whereas group 7A elements belong to block P of the periodic table. So this way we have found group number as well as blocks of these elements. Now we are going to do next question, that is write any two factors that help to differentiate between acid and base. The two factors that help to differentiate between acid and base are taste and touch. One is from physical property and other one is from chemical property. Acid is sour in taste and corrosive, corrosive, corrosive in nature, whereas base is bitter and soapy in touch, slippery or soapy. Yes. Now next, chemical property, litmus test. Acid changes blue litmus into red color, whereas base changes red litmus into blue color. So these are the factors which help us to differentiate between acid and base. Can sulfuric acid be used in the lab preparation of carbon dioxide gas? Justify your answer with proper chemical equation if necessary. Now sulfuric acid cannot be used in the lab preparation of carbon dioxide gas because it forms calcium sulfate, which covers marbles, or calcium carbonate, which forms coating on marbles. It stops further chemical reaction. So H2SO4 sulfuric acid reacts with calcium carbonate or the marbles and to form calcium sulfate, water and carbon dioxide. So the chemical process can be done, chemical reaction takes place, but it cannot be continued for a long time, right? So calcium sulfate covers marble chips. And with this we finish discussion of this